So it's a freezing day here in Florida. It's like 55, 56. So that is freezing to us. But beautiful weather, the sun is out. An update on my entrepreneurial journey. So last time I posted a video, it was more geared towards finally focusing on myself, leaving Camp Gladiator, just working as a personal trainer with my clients on the side for myself, and also at Orange Theory. And I was beginning to get focused on Neuxist, and my beard wasn't as long. So now I have been focusing on Neuxist. However, I came up with another idea. Surprise, surprise, surprise. It's frustrating that every time I begin to get focused, how it seems like there's always something else that pops in my head. But this venture has even less liability, less overhead, and feels even more right. So I have to put Neuxist aside and focus on this one. So this one, I won't give exact details since this is a public video and I need to get some traction with it first, but it is perfect. And I cannot imagine anything else coming up that is better to focus on right now. I mean, there's nothing that could possibly pop up that has even less liability, less overhead expenses, and feels even more right. So this is the one. I promise, this is the one. So I'm going to focus on this one. So basically, it's going to be a book about road trips, how to road trip, how to do road trips right, because throughout my life I've had so many road trips. I've really learned how to systemize the planning process. I've learned a lot of guidelines, because if you don't do it right, it'll be a terrible experience. If you do it right, it's an amazing experience, and you really get to enjoy the open road and all the vast benefits that come along with a road trip that only a road trip can offer. So road trips have only been around for, technically the past 60, 70 years. It started getting popularity after World War II, so they're relatively new. And Americans do take road trips. 1 in 4 Americans takes a road trip over the holidays. And there's really no good guidebook to a modern guidebook. There is some stuff that's outdated, but it's time to have something more modern. So I'm putting that together. And then there's another book associated with it, and then a website associated with that. So an entire brand based around this, and also products that tie in with it. So it's literally an entire brand, and I wish I could go into a lot of detail, because there's a lot of potential, and I have all the key people too. So I have a friend who's an aerospace engineer, and he has a list of inventions, and I have a few inventions that I spoke with him about creating, and coincidentally it actually ties in perfectly, because some of the invention ideas tie in with the brand that I want to build. And he is starting a lab where he will work on his inventions and work on getting them into the market. And so I have the person to help me design everything, then I have the key people to help get it into the market, potential investor, every person that I need, every key figure I have. So it's just a matter of focusing on this, making it happen. And I also have the credibility and the online presence for it now. So the past 2 years, I've worked on building my online presence, representing myself as an athlete, entrepreneur, developing speaker, adventurer. And so that platform, even though it's the only quantified form of progress that I've had the past 2 years, I have a lot of content in regards to adventures, traveling, so it makes me look credible, and I do feel very credible to speak on road trips and how to enjoy the process and everything that entails, and a whole adventure brand. So I do feel credible in that sense, and my online presence supports it. So all the work that I've done the past 2 years is finally going to begin to benefit me in other ways. So I'm excited. I just have to focus, get the first book out, advertise, make some money with that, get some traction, get the second book out as I work on building the website, which I already have the domain. So yeah, just I need to focus now, shut everything else out, and learn to get something to the market. So yeah, that's it in regards to that. On the other side, I'm having some opportunities. I have a really good friend who I met through Orange Theory, and now she's a client on the side, and she's amazing. She's very intuitive, to the point where she's literally the most empathetic person, intuitive person that I've ever met in my life. And she says that she is very sensitive to energy, and that she could read energy. And she said she could read my energy like a book. And she was telling me that I have a very warm energy, but it's all over the place, and it's very confusing, which makes sense. But she also told me a lot of other things, which were very interesting to me. She said, I have a whole page of notes on it, but it was fascinating. She said that I will be very successful, much more than I ever thought. But she also mentioned that Neuxist I should have done a long time ago, and that it weighs on me because I didn't act on it when I was supposed to, which is true. I actually I came up with the logo years before I even started putting together the venture, and I still took so long on that. She also spoke on, I can't think of any examples right now, but it was crazy. Everything she said was just right on. She was saying that I could be very empathetic just like her, but I shut it down. And she was saying that around 17 or 18, I started suppressing it because I didn't want to be different from everyone else, which I also feel is true because it's interesting. In a normal conversation with people, there's just so much more going on. It's not just the conversation. And so I've always been kind of socially awkward. And I've had to kind of fight it, kind of learn how to just ignore everything else going on in the conversation. It's like the energy, I just pick up on so much more. And yeah, it's difficult. And I thought it was like that for everyone, but no one seemed socially awkward like me in the past. And so it's definitely been a learning process and a lot of self-discovery and learning that I do feel very different in different ways, and how to sort of deal with that and just live in a world that it's not the friendliest place for very empathetic people. But anyways, it was awesome. She gave me a lot of insight, and it was very motivating. She said that she feels that this venture will blow up and go viral. And I also spoke to one of my clients about it, another client who's a multimillionaire, very successful businessman, and he sees a lot of potential in it, and he was giving me some insight. So I really do feel like this is the one. I just need to bring it to the market, and then I'll get traction, and it will free me from the work cycle where I can just work for myself and really get my daily habits down and self-development and work on the next one and then the next one. So it'll allow me the traction that I've been longing to have to provide the freedom. So that's about it. That's the general overview. Thank you for watching, and it's my entrepreneurial journey. Yeah, that's it.